right, all you Right Now podcast listeners, it's your boy Auburn, joined by a special guest, Austin Tui. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm doing good. How about you, Shep?
I'm doing well. So first off, tell the folks a little bit about why you're here this week.
Okay, so yeah, like he said, my name's Austin Tui. Everybody calls me Tui, and Shep shot me a text a while back, asked me if I could get a band together to lead worship for Reach Dothan 2021. So we got a team together, and we came on down Sunday, and now we're here day 3.
Day 3, you tired yet?
My voice is getting a little shot. Last night's service kind of got me, but we're doing good. We're gonna make it last through the rest of the week.
We'll definitely make it. So as we think about that, you're obviously a worship leader. Tell us a little bit about who you are, kind of where you grew up, that sort of thing.
So I grew up in Eufaula, Alabama, which isn't really far from here at all. Sorry, my voice is shot. So grew up in Eufaula, born and raised there, and I started leading worship when I was about 17 years old. I started a high school ministry in Eufaula, and then Chase Haney started a college ministry in Troy, and I became the worship leader there. Stayed there for a few years. We did a lot of great things there, as Auburn was involved with that as well. So that's where we kind of got to know each other a little bit. But after I stepped down from Pursuit and I moved to Gainesville, Georgia to start leading worship at Free Chapel. And I've been there the last 2 years, and now I just kind of take opportunities that are offered to me, lead worship around back home and around Alabama. So that's one of the reasons I'm here. So as you think about leading worship, you said you were about 17 when you started. Mm-hmm. So now many of the folks probably don't know this, but you weren't really instrument oriented, were you? No, not at all.
So how did you initially get to the point where you're like, I'm gonna start singing in a worship, on a worship team?
Honestly, I've always sang, and I didn't realize that I was somewhat decent at it until I got to about 16, 17. And honestly, I really wasn't even trying to pursue it. Our music minister was just kind of like, hey, why don't you do this solo? And I literally remember, if you were to go back and watch the video of me singing, my voice is just shaking like this. And it was so bad. But then I just felt the Lord was, once I started stepping into it, and I felt like the Lord was calling me to do it, it just got a lot easier. But I haven't always been pretty good. There was a point where I wasn't the best at all. Yeah. And but over time, I just progressed, and I started playing guitar. I didn't know how to play an instrument until COVID hit, and I was just like, I've got all the time in the world to learn how to play an instrument. Why not? So now I play guitar and I sing, and I don't know, it's been a lot of fun just growing over the past few years and just seeing how far I've come. So that's been fun.
Yeah. So as we think about that, right, you mentioned Pursuit,
mm-hmm.
right? So tell the people a little bit about what Pursuit is, and then I'll tell them a little bit how we met.
Okay. Pursuit was a college ministry, like I said, that Chase started. We wanted to keep it kind of like our motto was to keep it real, simple, and intentional. And that's how we wanted it to be with people. We didn't want people to just come in and see us as as something that's fake. We wanted to actually be real with people and love people and show them Jesus. So that's what we did. So Pursuit was on a Thursday night at 9:30. It's not the typical time you want to go to church, but for college students, it was okay. It was kind of an alternative. I remember as a Christian at a university, there's not really a lot of things to do besides hang out with your friends. So Pursuit was that kind of alternative. If you didn't want to go out and do this as a college student, go to a bar or something, hey, why don't you come to Pursuit and we'll have fun and worship Jesus together and just have a community and build that together. So I don't know, that's what Pursuit was. And to me, it was community. It was a good friendships and just a place that I could call home.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. So my first year at Troy was my junior year. So I went to junior college previously, and I was going to a different church. I was going to the basically First Baptist of Troy, and didn't really have that community. I kind of got to the point where I was just going to go. Your parents ask you go to church? Check.
Right.
But it wasn't really I wasn't involved. I wasn't pushed to be involved, and I didn't really feel that connection. And so my roommate actually, he was the one that was like, hey, let's go try this out. So we went, Ended up trying out. A lot of memories, a lot of friendships later. We actually met through a buddy of ours, Bryce. He lives here in Dothan now. So he used to play this game, still do to some degree. Definitely Tui takes over mostly, but we met playing a game called Clash of Clans on our phones. And I'll never forget. It was kind of weird. We started playing, and it was like I knew all you guys, but I didn't know who you were.
Right.
And then one night, y'all were just like, "Hey, we're going over to our other friend Kyle's house." You're like, "Hey, come by." So I remember me and my roommate came by. My roommate probably sat there like quiet the whole time.
Yeah.
Everybody else joking, and that was when I was really like, "All right, let's go check this Pursuit thing out." Yeah. These guys, like you said, real and intentional. Yeah. You know, we had a lot of time at the Pig Cafe.
Right.
Shout out our boy Mark.
Hangs.
Yes, sir.
Mark Pig Cafe, we love you, man.
Yes, we do. Shout out Yanni.
That's right.
But yeah, so as we kind of move past that, you say you went to Gainesville to Free Chapel. Tell us a little bit about what that is and how you got involved with that.
Okay. So whenever I had felt the Lord was calling me to something else, I'd always felt like I needed to go to a seminary of some sort. And I just felt I went to my mom actually showed me Free Chapel because she's followed my pastor for years. And she was like, they have a college, you might want to check it out. And I did. And I went up there to it was like a preview day kind of thing, just kind of check it out. I went and I loved it. And I felt like this is exactly where the Lord was wanting me to be. And so I moved up there, and we got there. And Free Chapel College it's a 2-year ministry training program. So I was in the worship practicum. I got to serve beside some of the best musicians and worship leaders that I've ever encountered or met. And it was just a lot of fun. I got to grow. I got to lead. I was over chapel this year, so all of the college worship I got to plan out and actually lead the services. So it was cool to grow in that. So because I not only grew spiritually, but also grew in my craft, like with guitar and music theory. So it really helped progress me as a worship leader. And it was just cool. And now I'm still up there leading now. So even I've just graduated. So now I'm still up there leading at our Brasselson campus. And it's a dream, man. It's fun.
Yeah. So are you thinking that's going to be something long-term? What are you kind of hoping for long-term?
I don't think it's long term. If they were to offer me a position as a worship leader, I would definitely, I think I would accept it, but it's not the goal. Right. The end goal is to be a worship pastor and just be where the Lord wants me. If that's there, then okay, I'll take that. But if not, then I am willing to go somewhere else and follow the Lord. That's not, I don't want to just be there, right?
So as we kind of wrap up here, heard a lot about kind of where you came from, where you're at now. What is God teaching you the most right now?
I think right now, and just kind of like in the season that I am in, and I just at Free Chapel too, and just I do want to be a worship pastor, but I just don't know when that is going to be. So I think that what he's teaching me is to be patient, focus on what he has for me right now, and then do the task that he has, and then the rest will come in due time. Because I do want to be a worship pastor, but I'm kind of right now just volunteering. And I mean, I do have to make a career. Right. I do have to make money at some point, but if that's just right now I work in a marina. So if it's that, and then I just have to volunteer and still be involved with worship, that's okay with me. But at some point I do want to pursue a worship pastor role. But I think God is just teaching me to be patient and focus on what he has right now. And then it'll come in time.
Yeah, most definitely. So Tui, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me, man.
We'll definitely be having you back soon.
Yes, sir.